What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Shoe.
.com, and we are here to...
You just lost your applicant down this line.
We are here to talk about Kevin Hart and Breaking Bad himself, Mr. Bryan Cranston in...
The Upside. I want to just, I know it's how important this review is, so much so, you know, you had to get your phone to make sure. So The Upside, based on a true story, was originally brought to France.
Do you know how long ago that was?
I don't know how long ago it was, but based on a true story, in 2011, it was made into a feature film in France called the...
Francais.
Well, what the English translation is the Intouchables, which I don't know if it's because the French term, or, you know, sometimes translations don't always work well, but Intouchables is an odd title.
Hey, today is Friday, January 11th.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever be in France together?
Like
vacation.
Maybe.
Just chilling.
I don't know. I hope so. That'd be nice.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Croissants.
I'm not a big croissant guy.
Well, just do the review, bro.
You're the one that got me off topic.
Do the review.
Oh, people who like first come to this channel like, what the hell just happened? Where did this conversation go? I'm here to watch the review of Upside. Why are we talking about France? And then I believe from a good friend of mine, Josh Belly, was telling me that this movie was remade in like 2 other different countries.
Oh.
Like it was like a movie that was made. So of course,
this
America,
is the 4th one, huh?
America wanted to remake it. I can't confirm how many there were, but obviously this story has been told multiple times. And who better to, you know, kind of steal the heart of America than Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart. Going into this movie, I was not looking forward to it.
I have a feeling before you get started that this movie was supposed to be an Oscar bait. It was supposed to be something for maybe Kevin Hart to be taken serious, or maybe Bryan Cranston for a possible best lead. Is he a lead in this?
Yeah, he's a lead. Oh, I mean, I guess you could kind of argue that he's supporting, but if I would imagine they'd push both and then kind of just see who they feel. But obviously, I think Cranston would. He's the one that has to really kind of do all the meat.
Yeah, so I saw the trailer. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the trailer.
I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw it comes out in January, and I said, oh, no.
Yeah.
I literally said that. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
So is this something I need to see, bro?
Yeah, actually it is. So like I was saying, like going into this movie, I was pretty doubtful. You know, this is the kind of movie that really works in a manipulative, very shallow place, right? Like it gives us a very generic story, you know, one that will tug on our heartstrings without much writing. You know, you automatically kind of feel for this character. You have Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston, and you know, you just kind of run with the audience. You know, it's not something that's unheard of. But I will say here, it just so happens that they cast Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart, both who are very, very great at what they do, because Bryan Cranston really, really dives deep into this character. And while like this isn't an Oscar-worthy performance or anything like that, I mean, he gives it a really solid heart. I mean, this movie, that's the best thing you could say. It's got a lot of heart. And I
a lot of Kevin Hart?
Well, it does have a lot of Kevin Hart. And, you know, Kevin Hart brings that charisma, that funny charm that you kind of need to make this movie light and digestible. And then Bryan Cranston, of course, when the movie needs to be taken down to that serious dramatic level, he's able to do that. You know, I wondered if you would get a better duo than The Rock and Kevin Hart, and I honestly think Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart do some damage here, and I think it's good. I mean, you know what you're getting into. I mean, it is January, but there are worse things you could see, and I think The Upside's pretty decent.
What about Nicole Kidman?
What about her?
How was she?
Oh, she's fine. You know, she
was she better than this or Aquaman?
Well, that's a good question. Probably in this. Not, I mean, just because Aquaman, she doesn't get to really, you know, have to bust any acting chops out where she does in this movie. But she's, you know, it's really about these two kind of developing this bond. And while she is this kind of big element to the story, she doesn't really get those moments to really show off her chops. So I mean,
so
I think it's yeah, you'll like. I mean, if you were excited by the trailer, you'll love this movie.
Remember,
I walked in this movie being very doubtful, just because this formula is used all the time, and it goes back to David Mamet's theory about 3 uses of the knife. It's audience manipulation. It's tugs on the heartstrings without really developed writing and all that stuff. But I'd be lying to say if I didn't like it. I mean, Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston are very good at what they do. They have a great chemistry, and at the end of the day, it's a movie that you'll smile and you'll feel good with.
I heard that because he was kicked out of the Oscars, left the Oscars, whatever, over the
even though they're willing to take him back, yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And then in this movie, it makes him look bad because he don't want to do the
catheter.
Catheter. Did you feel that?
No.
That they should have cut that
until
scene?
You said that, I wouldn't have even connected the two events, and maybe that's just because the Oscar
all
whole things.
nonsense.
It's not it's not like the biggest thing on my mind. I mean, I'm more worried about how good this movie's going to be, and I mean that's a whole different issue. And but I will say this, that I think comedy is a place where
You can't be funny anymore.
no holds barred. I've always felt comedy should be no holds barred. And
What are we
while
doing
I
to
understand,
comedy, bro?
huh?
What are we doing in comedy in 2019?
We don't do comedy.
We get offended by everything.
Oh, you mean like as a people? I thought you meant you and I.
As society.
No, I think there'd be a lot of people on here who find us not funny.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's not really our typical bag to like get into stuff like that. But I've always felt comedy should be no holds barred, and I think people change, and you gotta kind of keep that in mind. And people mature and people grow, and it's a bummer that we have to kind of look at something that's not meant to be taken seriously, that's taken seriously so much so many years later, and we kind of have to look at ourselves and. And I understand that people have so there are sensitivities and people have
Feelings?
stories and feelings and all that stuff, but I think there also has to be the parameter of context. So, but I'm sure, even in today, I mean, I'm sure someone could twist that and turn it into a whole bunch of, read their own things.
I
and
purposely asked
you're gonna
you this so
you're
we
gonna
can
get our
use this
channel
evidence.
closed
Yeah.
down.
So I
You're
can
gonna get the
use this
channel shut
evidence
down.
on you in about
But
10 years from today.
the Oscars, well, speaking of which, the Globes were this past weekend, which we tweeted all about, so you could go check out our Twitter page at Chasing Cinema and find all of our
you
tweets.
did a lot.
Yeah, well, we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But next week, we're going to be back here at AMC Town Square at 10 o'clock. We want you to join us.
M.
because
Night
we're going to be
Shyamalan.
watching the next chapter in the...
The cinematic universe of Unbreakable Split called Glass.
Yes. What universe would you call that?
You probably the first
Or
one,
would you
right?
call it like
'Cause
the Glass franchise,
Unbreakable?
or would you call it the Unbreakable franchise?
I guess
the
Unbreakable just because it was first.
I guess.
But you wouldn't call the Iron Man for cinematic universe. You call it the Marvel. The Shyamalan.
The Shyamalan universe.
Shyamalan universe.
I'm telling you, I'm cool with that. Like, if Glass ends with Haley Joel Osment coming back and being like, that guy's not really dead. He's really a ghost. Like, oh, just bring all the characters back. Or, like, at the end.
Or if what you said earlier in our other thing, if Bruce Willis just wakes up.
Yeah, Bruce Willis. No,
I would enjoy that.
No, man. Like, okay, so here's the end, right? They're all in, like, a, Mexican standoff, right? You have Mr. Glass, you have James McAvoy, you
Mexican,
have Bruce
you can say
Willis, and they're all looking at each other. We're, like, just doing close-ups of the eyes. Got the old West music, and they all fall, and it's The Happening. And The Happening starts here. And then Mark Wahlberg runs across the screen, and he's, like, running from The Happening, and this happened before The Happening happened. Boom, mic drop. M. Night, go ahead.
You got to have trees.
You can write me a check later.
You have to have trees around.
That's okay.
That was what happened.
Yeah, but isn't that scene when James McAvoy is like galloping in the trailer near trees? What else? Yeah, you could bring aliens back. You could do a lot, man. I mean, if you are going to do the shot,
sights. Signs.
Signs, yeah.
Signs.
If you're going to do the M Night like universe, just go crazy. Revisit Lady Under the Water or Lady in the Water.
In the Water.
She could be a supernatural superhero too. I'm trying to think of his other movies. Village. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Bryce Howard.
Yeah,
Or was it Jessica Chastain?
I don't remember.
It was one of the redheads.
One of the redheads.
The beautiful redheads.
But Haley Joel Osment, I think that there you go. And it's Bruce Willis too, so you have that connection as well. Like maybe this Bruce Willis isn't the Unbreakable Bruce Willis. He's the character. All right, there you go. Wait, bear with me. So at the end, you got James this is a spoiler alert for Sixth Sense, by the way. So you got James McAvoy, you got Sam Jackson, and then you got Bruce Willis. And I don't remember Bruce Willis's name from Unbreakable, but someone says that name, right? Unbreakable character. And he goes, that's not my name. And then he says Sixth Sense character's name. And then you find out he hasn't even been there the whole time. There is no Bruce Willis because he's dead. He's a ghost, just like in Sixth Sense, and it's the same ghost who's doing all this stuff. Boom. I'm telling you, I should be doing this for a living.
Why don't you?
I know. Because I don't know if M. Night's going to let me use all of his movies to make a big mockery.
Instead, we're behind a green wall.
It's our green
talking
wall,
to each other.
It's our green wall. Our chairs, our corner.
Ours meaning AMC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, ours meaning, we made our print here.
Okay.
When the day comes where we decide that either we're both too old for this or AMC decides we'll just have to sign our name on it. This is our wall.
I will.
We've had 6 years.
Love it. Next week. And
if you're a first-time viewer, not all of our reviews are this wild. They should be, though.
We also do reviews for...
Replicas.
Replicas.
And then we also did our top 10 last year, which you all should check out because that's a really good video.
And we just did a video for Upside.
And it shows how professional we could be.
By the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure to go check out those reviews. This was a review for Upside.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, not M. Night.
No.
All right, we'll see everyone next week. ChasingCinema.com is known as
The Film Lovers website.